American farmers are facing a major headache as harvest season approaches. There's nowhere to send their crops. The tension is rising in rural heartlands like Clum, North Dakota, where soybean growers such as Josh Gackle are preparing for another abundant harvest. But their biggest worry isn't the weather. It's what happens after the grain leaves the field. The soybeans are looking promising right now, Gackle explained, exuding cautious optimism. But the real challenge is, who's going to buy what we're harvesting? Gackle, who leads the American Soybean Association, isn't speaking in hypotheticals. This year, some of the world's most significant buyers of U.S. soybeans simply aren't placing orders. It's not just an inconvenience for farmers. It's a domino effect. If exporters are blocked from foreign markets, everyone feels the impact, right down to our local grain elevators, and even the railroad networks here in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and beyond, Gackle warned. And this is the part most people miss. Farming is deeply interconnected with local economies and industries you might never expect. The industry's unease is reflected in the latest data. Purdue University's Farmer Sentiment Index, set to update again later today, already showed in July that President Trump's ongoing trade war has weighed heavily on farmers' confidence. Many feel boxed in when it comes to marketing their harvest abroad. But here's where it gets controversial. The current administration is doubling down, aiming to use new trade negotiations to solve the problem. Will it be enough? Last month, President Trump took to social media with a bold demand. He urged China to buy 4 times as many American soybeans as before. Meanwhile, his team is pushing nations like Vietnam and Thailand to promise larger purchases of U.S. farm products as a bargaining chip in ongoing tariff talks. The expectation is that fresh deals could open up new pathways to move this year's crop. But is it really that simple? And this is the real twist. Even if the U.S. successfully inks new trade agreements, it could cause ripples in the opposite direction. Arlen Suderman, a commodities economist for StoneX, laid out a scenario that might surprise many. When America wins customers away from countries like Brazil or Argentina, nations that have stepped up their own crop production during the trade dispute, those countries may be left with extra inventory. Someone else ends up carrying the surplus, Suderman explained. The result? A likely drop in global prices for commodities like soybeans and wheat. So ask yourself, could victory on the trade front actually hurt the very farmers it's supposed to help? This is where the debate heats up. Do you believe ramped-up trade negotiations will ultimately benefit American agriculture? Or will they backfire by pushing prices even lower? Join the conversation below and share your perspective, especially if you see a side of this that others might be missing.